particular attention to this. I believe that when people know better, they do better. Nationally, 68% of state prison inmates are dropouts. 68% are dropouts. Now, what I'm going to say the next few moments is kind of sensitive. You know, over the years, so many people have said, you know, I know Imam Siraj, I grew up with Imam Siraj, and most of the people I've never met. But there's one person here, her name is Sister Beverly. Is Sister Beverly here? If you're here, yell out. Any Beverly family here? Well, Sister Beverly, I did grow up with her. We went to college together. And I introduced her to my best friend, a man named Eliu Rushdan. And they got married. 2 days ago, Sister Beverly text messaged me. She said that she was on her way to this conference. But as she was speaking to me, she said, something, Imam, I want to tell you something that's taking place right now. And before I tell you what she said, I want to remind you that when I knew Sister Beverly was a Christian, Eliu was a Christian, and I was a Muslim. And it was in that school at New York University that we joined the Nation of Islam and we became Muslims. And soon after that, 1975, Sister Beverly, Brother Eliu and Brother Siraj, alhamdulillah, we became Orthodox Muslims. We became Muslims and joined the family of the Muslims. And so she text messaged me and said, Imam, as I speak to you right now, my son Habib, which I was blessed to give him that name 28 years ago, his wife just had a baby, their third baby, and my 17th grandchild. And we began to think about that. Think about that. 3 of us who became Muslim, and she has 17 grandchildren. I have 9 children. How many grandchildren will I have before this thing is over? Allahu Alam. But we're growing. But listen to this. Especially this young group, MSA. Imagine had I gone to New York University in 1969 and we had an MSA. And if they had an MSA, maybe Brother Jeffrey at that time, maybe Sister Beverly and Eliu would have become Muslim at that moment. But we didn't have an MSA in those years. But alhamdulillah, MSA now is growing. Brothers and sisters, youngsters, be careful. Right now, there is some plans in the masjids to excite the youth, to get them to involved in some actions against the government. And be careful. Right now, they had in Newburgh 4 people that were arrested, accused of making some kind of plot against the government. But you must be careful, my young brothers and sisters, against those agent provocateurs, those who will come into the masjids and try to incite you to do something against this country. Be careful of that. And as long as you adhere to the Quran and the Sunnah, and you obey the laws of this country, inshallah, we will not be entrapped. Be careful. I want to mention something about our system. Wallahi, don't get angry at me. I believe that there are Muslims in prison that ought to be there. Every person that violates the law of Allah and violate the law of the country ought to be in prison. But be careful. Everyone in prison is not guilty. Michael Parenti in his book said that there are 500,000 more prisoners in America than China. China has a population of 1,300,000,000 people. United States population is 300 million. That means they have 1 billion people more than us, but yet we have 500,000 more prisoners than China. I'll tell you something more. United States population represents 5% of the population of the earth, yet we represent 25% of the world population of prisoners. Something is wrong. If all the prisoners in the United States of America comprise of a state, it would be the 17th most populated state in America. Something is wrong. But everybody in prison is not guilty. How many of you heard of the Innocence Project? The Innocence Project is an organization that was formed in 1992. And the purpose of this organization, this nonprofit organization, was to look at those people who were accused and convicted of a crime that perhaps they were innocent. And because of the work of this Innocence Project, 232 people who were convicted was overturned because of the work of the Innocence Project. So there are a lot of people in prison who are not guilty. According to a study by Columbia University, they said 5%, an estimate 5% of the people in prison are innocent. It don't seem like much, but that translates to over 100,000 people who are in prison today that are innocent. Why am I saying this? I am saying this, brothers and sisters, because what I'm about to say to you is very close to my heart. How many of you heard about the Holy Land Foundation case? There are brothers, 5 brothers, who wallahi, I swear by Allah, I believe 100% these 5 brothers are 100% innocent. And yet these brothers are languishing in prison, and some of them got between 15 and 65 years in prison. What was their crime? They raised $12 million for humanitarian reasons in the land of Palestine. And our government accused them of giving support to Hamas. I know all 5 of these brothers, and all 5 of these brothers are some of the most respectable, lovable people that we have in our community. And I will work hard, everything that I have, inshallah, to work hard to prove that these brothers, their innocence, and inshallah, hopefully they get out of jail. Now think about this. Think about this. Many people that don't care about, they don't care. Let me tell you one man that I'm sure you never heard of. William Dillion, Florida. You never heard of him. He's not famous. Nobody knows about him. Nobody wrote a book about him. You can't watch a movie or video about him. And who was he? He was a man, an African American in Florida, who was released after 27 years in prison for a crime that he never committed. Now, according to Columbia University, they said the average innocent person in jail spends 12 years in prison for a crime that they did not commit. 68 prisoners